There we go. What's up, everyone? Hey. Welcome to another live edition of Pro Wrestling Talk, brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram, and we are here live once again, here on the U to the Tube. So, we got quite a weekend coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Got two pay-per-views. Saturday, we got Stardom's Nagoya Supreme Fight 2022, and we have WWE Royal Rumble as well. So I'm gonna preview the cards for those two shows and give my predictions. Also recap AEW Dynamite Beach Break that took place this past Wednesday, as well as Rampage. Just do a quick look at the bracket for the Dusty Tag Classic. The semifinal matchups have we now know the semifinal matchups. And pretty much just go from there. So we got two big shows this weekend. So got a good bit to talk about tonight. Also, this week, my new Red Dragon shirt from shopaew.com arrived. So I was looking forward to finally getting this. Love it. This is my third Red Dragon shirt. And so I figured I'd rock it for this video because I'm a big Red Dragon fan. And speaking of Red Dragon, shout out to Kyle O'Reilly, who just recently became a father. So congratulations to you. That's pretty much why we haven't seen him on TV for a while, and it's probably going to be a while since he's now become a father. I believe he had a daughter, if I remember correctly. So congratulations to Kyle O'Reilly on becoming a father. And of course, in a few weeks, right around the corner, Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae are getting ready to be parents. So I believe they're expecting a baby boy. So that's right around the corner. So looking forward to that. Anyway, let's start off with Stardom. Let's talk about Nagoya Supreme Fight 2022. So that will be taking place in Nagoya, Japan, in the Dolphins Arena. So there are a couple of changes. There's a few changes. So unfortunately, due to, I guess, physical condition / injury, I don't know the full details. Unfortunately, Tam Nakano, Mai Sakurai, and Waka Tsukiyama won't be able to compete at this pay-per-view. Now, of course, Tam Nakano was going to be in the three-way match with Julia and Mayu Iwatani to determine the next contenders for the World of Stardom Championship, but she won't be able to compete. And Waka Tsukiyama and Mai Sakurai were supposed to be in the battle royal. There's a pre-show battle royal, and they were supposed to be in that, but they won't be able to compete for that. So, just wanted to note that, but let's go through the card. So, the pre-show was supposed to be a seven-woman battle royal. Now it's been decreased to 5. So, it was originally supposed to be Waka Tsukiyama, Mai Sakurai, and newest member of Stars, Momo Kohgo. That's right, she just recently joined Stars. She had her first singles match against Unagi Sayaka, which was a great match, actually. Honestly, I thought that she was going to pull off the upset. Momo Kohgo actually had a really good match with Unagi Sayaka, but Unagi did defeat her with a frog splash and, kind of rubbed the idea in her face that no, she can't join Cosmic Angels, which Momo didn't want to join Cosmic Angels anyway. So she ended up joining Stars. She requested to Mayu Iwatani if she could join Stars. And now she's the newest member of Stars. So pretty interesting. So more stable power for Stars. But anyway, this pre-show battle royal is now a 5-woman battle royal. So it will be Momo Kodgo, Fukigen Death, Ruaka, Saki Kashima, and Rina. I hope that's not the case, because that's essentially 4-on-1. Because that's Oedo Tai, 4 members of Oedo Tai, and 1 member of Stars. That's kind of unfair. That's kind of unfair. I mean, I kind of like the idea of Momo Kodgo withstanding all 4 members, but that definitely ain't going to happen. So, Oedo Tai is going to win in some form of fashion. And I think it's going to come down to either Saki Kashima or Fukigen Death to win this battle royal. But I mean, hey, it's on the pre-show, so it's not really a big deal type of match. It's a pre-show match, so it's not really going to be a big deal. But that's your pre-show match. We have the future of Stardom Championship will be on the line, as Hanan will be defending the title against Lady C. Hanan of Stars and Lady C of Queen's Quest. Remember, Lady C joined Queen's Quest. So I really hope that this will be a match where we really get to see. I hope this match lasts at least more than 10, 12 minutes. I would love to see Hanan and Lady C really go at it for a long while. You know, because I feel like ever since Lady C joined Queen's Quest, we need to really start really seeing her look strong. Just a little bit stronger than normal. You know what I mean? I mean, yes, she did get her first victory, her first singles victory, where she submitted Waka Tsukiyama. But I think now is the time, with Lady C being part of Queen's Quest, it's time to start making her look a little bit stronger than usual. I think it's time to really make her look stronger. So I really hope to see her really showcased in this match. And same for Hanan as well. And I hope to see it go back and forth at least like 10, 11 minutes. At least. If not longer. But of course, I do see Hanan successfully defending her title and winning this match. But like I said, I really hope that this will be a match where Lady C really gets to shine ever since joining Queen's Quest. So, because like I said, I think Hanan will have a pretty good future of Stardom title run. But we got to really start building up these other ladies as well. But I'm picking Hanan to retain the future of Stardom Championship. We got a grudge showdown. We got ourselves a tag team match where we have Queen's Quest Utami Hayashishita teaming up with Azumi to take on Oedo Tai's Starlight Kid and Momo Watanabe, the Black Peach, who just recently joined Oedo Tai. This one's kind of hard to pick. This one's actually kind of hard to pick. I mean, Momo and Starlight Kid together, it's a pretty strong team. And not to take anything away from Utami and Azumi, but something tells me that Starlight Kid and Momo Watanabe are going to win. And unfortunately, Azumi is probably going to eat the pin. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Starlight Kid and Momo Watanabe gets the victory and Azumi takes the pin. But I feel like anything can happen in this match. It should be good, though. It should be good. But yeah, on paper, that one's tough to pick, but that's my prediction. I'm picking Starlight Kid and Momo to win. Okay, we got the SWA Championship, the vacant SWA Championship on the line, which Cosmic Angels Mina Shirakawa will go up against Donna Del Mondo's Thekla, the Toxic Spider. Now, remember, Shruti voluntarily relinquished the SWA Championship so she could focus solely on the World of Stardom Championship that she currently holds. And of course, remember, her and Julia are no longer Goddess of Stardom tag team champs as they were defeated by Koguma and Hazuki. So SWA title on the line, Mina, Thekla. I think this is a pretty simple pick. I'm picking Thekla a lot more. So I see it getting defended a lot more with Thekla holding it versus Mina Shirakawa. So I'm gonna pick Thekla to win this match. But it's been kind of interesting, the interaction between Thekla and Mina Shirakawa, as Thekla calls her the boobs girl or boob sign. So it'll be interesting to see how this match goes, but just with the chemistry and see what kind of shenanigans happen. But I'm picking Thekla to become the new SWA champion. I just think it makes a lot more sense for her to win this title. That way, Foreigner will have it. It'll get defended a lot more. With the talent that's on this roster, it'll get defended a lot more. We have the Goddess of Stardom tag team titles on the line, as the champs, stars Hazuki and Koguma, will defend against Maika and Himeka. Now, I really feel like Koguma and Hazuki have really been on a roll ever since winning the Goddess of Stardom Tag League and then eventually winning the tag titles. And I think that's going to continue. They have great chemistry, and they've been a very strong team. Not to take anything away from Maika and Himeka, but this has been a very strong team. And we have to also remember, if I remember correctly, Maika and Himeka are former Goddess of Stardom tag champs. So, I mean, they're definitely worthy opponents, but I definitely see Koguma and Hazuki retaining the titles. They've been on a roll, they've been on fire, and I think that streak is going to continue. So I'm picking Koguma and Hazuki to retain the Goddess of Stardom tag team titles. Okay, we got a fatal three-way match. So this will be Mayu Iwatani, or excuse me. Let me correct myself. This was supposed to be a fatal three-way between Mayu Iwatani, Tam Nakano, and Julia, but Tam Nakano won't be able to compete. So this has been changed to just a singles match between Mayu Iwatani and Julia. The winner of this match will become the number one contender for the World of Stardom Championship, currently held by Shuri. You know what I'm thinking, though? I'm thinking that even after this match, at some point, I think it would be cool if they had Tam Nakano maybe go up against whoever the loser is. And if Tam can win, then she'll get the second. She'll be the number 2 contender. And she'll be next in line for a title shot. Something like that. Because originally with this three-way, the way they were going to do it was whoever won got the first crack at the title. And then they were going to have the two losers go at it. And then whoever won between the two losers would get the second opportunity. But since it's a singles match now, since it's got changed to a singles match, you know, they might as well just make it so whoever wins this is the number one contender. If they want to give Tam one last shot when she's good enough to compete, have her face the loser of this match, and whoever wins will be the number two contender who will get the second crack at the title. So for right now, it's Mayu Iwatani versus Julia. To be honest, I can see Mayu Iwatani beating Julia, mainly because I do not see Shuri going up against two back-to-back opponents from Donna Del Mundo. I just don't see it. I don't see it. Because we have to remember, this World of Stardom championship defense for Shuri, this is her first defense of the title. This is her first defense. So I just really don't see her defending it back-to-back against two Donna Del Mundo stablemates. I just don't see that happening. So I'm going to pick Mayu Iwatani to win this match. I see Mayu Iwatani winning this match and becoming the number one contender to the red belt. Should be a great match, indeed. Should be a great match, but I'm picking Mayu to become the new number one contender. Alrighty. And then we have the Wonder of Stardom Championship on the line as Saya Kamitani, the Golden Phoenix, the champ from Queen's Quest, will defend the title. This will be her first defense of this title against Cosmic Angel's Unagi Sayaka. This should be a pretty dang on good match. I'm hoping. I'm really, really hoping. You know, Unagi Sayaka has definitely been improving. She's been doing well in the ring. And I think this is a good starting test for Saya Kamitani. But I expect the Golden Phoenix to win this match and successfully retain the title. So I'm going with Saya Kamitani. And then we have to also keep in mind, you know, there's been kind of a storyline brewing ever since she barged in twice on Rossy Ogawa, interacting with a mystery woman, once in person, another time over the phone, overhearing conversation. And apparently this mystery woman is going to be at this pay-per-view. We still don't know who it is. I gave it some more thought because, like I said, Saya knows who it is. She's seen her face and she was shocked. She had a shocked reaction. My thing is, after really thinking about it and talking with some friends, I think it's going to be either one of these three ladies. I think it's going to either be Kairi Sane. I think that it may possibly be a swerve and it could be Jungle Kiona. Or I think it could possibly be Arisa Hoshiki making a return. I think I'm more leaning towards Kairi Sane or Arisa Hoshiki. Kairi Sane mainly because I think it would be a big deal for Kairi to come back to Stardom and make one last big run. I could see that happening. Or I could see it being Arisa Hoshiki making a comeback and maybe her being in a feud and a storyline with Saya Kamitani. Because we have to also remember, Arisa Hoshiki never lost that Wonder of Stardom championship. She never lost that title. She ended up leaving/retiring due to health, and I think due to neck issues, if I remember correctly. So she had to unfortunately vacate the Wonder of Stardom Championship. But who knows? Maybe she's cleared now. She could be cleared and able to return to in-ring competition. Why not return to Stardom and at least get back into the title picture? Because she never lost that Wonder of Stardom Championship. So, something to think about. It would not surprise me if that mystery woman ended up being Arisa Hoshiki. I think that'd be pretty big. Her or Kairi Sane, maybe Jungle Kiona. I know some folks were saying maybe, I don't think it's Yoshiko. I don't think it's Yoshiko or Yoshiko. I don't think it's Kagetsu either. So, but yeah, I think if I had to narrow it down, either Kairi Sane or Arisa Hoshiki. I think those would be two home run hitters to be the mystery woman. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then the main event, the World of Stardom Championship. Shuri will make her first defense of the red belt against fellow stablemate of Donna Del Mondo, Mirai. Now, Mirai and Thekla have been on a roll since coming to Stardom and joining Donna Del Mondo. Donna Del Mondo has looked very strong. I think this will be a great match between these two ladies. We got to see a preview via a tag team match where I believe it was Micah teaming up with Shuri, and they went up against Julia and Mirai. Now, like I said, I think this should be a great challenge, a good first challenge for Shuri, but I expect Shuri to win and retain the World of Stardom Championship. I think this is Shuri's year. I think she's going to have that red belt for a while, for a good long while. So realistically, I don't see any titles changing hands for the show, but we at least know one thing for sure. We're going to have a new SWA champion. It's going to either be Mina Shirakawa or Thekla, being that the title is up for grabs because it's vacant. But I really don't see any of the other titles changing hands. I really don't, to be honest with you. But hopefully the matches will be great. I expect the matches will be great. But one other thing that I do want to point out that I'm kind of noticing is starting to look like Himeka, at least Himeka, is not really taking too kindly to the additions of Mirai and Thekla to Donna Del Mondo. And you know what? Being that Mai Hime Poi are their own thing, like they have their own special entrance, their own name and such, Mai Hime Poi, to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me if before the end of this year, there's a split in Donna Del Mondo. It wouldn't surprise me if there was a split. I could be wrong, but I mean, Donna Del Mondo's pretty loaded right now, but it would not surprise me if before the end of the year or at some point, if there was a split in that stable and maybe Mai Hime Poi left and did their own thing, started their own stable, or just there's a split between Shuri and Julia, like, or if anything, I feel like Thekla and Mirai may be Julia's girls. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I mean, it happened to Stars after, when Tam Nakano left Stars and, formed Cosmic Angels. So, I mean, it can happen. But we'll just have to wait and see. But if anything, I'm looking forward to this card. I'm looking forward to the matches. I'm looking forward to the reveal of this mystery woman. And like I said, I hope it's a big surprise. I mean, like I said, if it's Kairi Sane or Arisa Hoshiki, I would be super ecstatic. But we shall see what happens. But yeah, that is your card for Nagoya Supreme Fight 2022 from Stardom. Should be good. Should be really good. I can't wait to check that out. So that is it for Stardom. Just wanted to make a quick note. There was some news in regards with New Japan Pro Wrestling. Unfortunately, there were some live shows that they had to cancel due to COVID protocols and certain number of wrestlers with high temperatures when they did their testing. So they are taking a safety measure and going ahead and canceling some live shows. They're going to start back up live shows again in February, apparently February 6th. So, I mean, hey, at least they're doing what they got to do to protect the fans, protect the wrestlers, and, just take a lot of this seriously, So I really like and appreciate them doing what they got to do. It's unfortunate, but sometimes that's how it's got to be. Sometimes that's how it's got to be. AEW. Let's talk some AEW. We had AEW Dynamite Beach Break. Took place in Cleveland, Ohio. For the most part, this was a good show. I wouldn't say a whole lot happened, but it was still a good show. They kicked off with the TNT Championship Unification ladder match between Cody Rhodes and Sammy Guevara, and it was definitely a banger of a match. I mean, that's one thing that AEW likes to do. They like to kick off with a very big, high-profile, hard-hitting match. As much as they do that in their main events, they like to also start a show off that way, and this was definitely nothing different. But yeah, this was back and forth. I mean, it almost seemed like these two guys were trying to just destroy / kill each other. It was crazy. I mean, we saw suplexes off the top ladder and just a crossroads. Like, it was crazy. This was a crazy match, but I mean, it's expected, especially between these two competitors. But yeah, it was back and forth, and it was very entertaining, very enjoyable. But sure enough, of course, Fuego del Sol tried to interfere and help out and such. But sure enough, Sammy Guevara was able to knock off Cody Rhodes off the ladder at a key pivotal moment and was able to take down both straps from the hook. And Sammy Guevara is your TNT Unified Champion. So he's the man. He's the one. He took down both belts. He's the champ again and knocked off Cody Rhodes. So TNT title is right back on him, which I know a lot of people, would say he should have never lost in the first place, but he got it back. So all is well, I guess. But it was a very great match, very entertaining. I mean, and that's expected of a ladder match. You're going to have the crazy spots. It's going to be a fairly long match. You're going to see some close calls, stuff like that. So what you would expect from a ladder match, I would say, definitely delivered. So great match. Great match. We had a segment where Ricky Starks, the FTW champion, definitely accepted the challenge from Jay Lethal. And actually next Friday on Rampage, we're going to get absolute Ricky Starks defending the FTW championship against Jay Lethal. That should be good. That should be really good. Looking forward to that. That'll be on Rampage. Wardlow had a 2-on-1 handicap match, and he pretty much destroyed the two locals. I believe it was James Alexander and Elijah Dean. So Wardlow just pretty much destroyed them. Power bombs for everybody, and got an easy win. I mean, felt like it was kind of a waste of a match, but Wardlow. We had a trios match. We had the Inner Circle, or I guess what's, left of the Inner Circle for one last time, I guess you could say. You had Chris Jericho teaming up with Santana and Ortiz, taking on 2.0 and Red Death Daniel Garcia. Now, while it looked like there was, some arguing, some miscommunication, some, just dissension, Santana, Ortiz, and Jericho were still able to pick up the victory. But I think it's definitely safe to say that Inner Circle's pretty much done. And you know what? I think with how they did this, I think that's how they should leave it. No animosity, no damage done to each other, but they could just part ways. No more Inner Circle. Jericho can be in another storyline, can focus on Eddie Kingston, and Proud and Powerful, Santana and Ortiz, can start working on rising up the ranks and getting into that AEW tag team title picture. Which, honestly, I think it's a good opening for them to do that. Because, like I said, I know Kyle O'Reilly just came to AEW, but remember, he just became a father. That's why we haven't seen him. And we're probably not going to see him for a while. So Red Dragon probably won't have an opportunity to compete for the tag titles anytime soon. And that's okay. That's okay. We at least know that they're there. They're going to have their opportunity eventually. But I think right now, this is a good chance for Proud and Powerful to really start working their way up. And also, let's not forget about 2.0 as well. 2.0, that's another example. Give them an opportunity to really start working up the ranks. Give these tag teams some love. You know what I mean? So I definitely like that. I think they should be over and done with the Inner Circle. It's served its time and its purpose. I think it's time to move forward from that. It has also been announced that Hangman Adam Page, the AEW World Champion, in 2 weeks will take on the Murder Hawk monster Lance Archer in a Texas death match in 2 weeks for the AEW World Championship. Yikes. They're really throwing a lot at Hangman Adam Page, because you got to remember, he just recently got a big win over the American Dragon Bryan Danielson. So this is going to be crazy. This is going to be really crazy. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's for the title. I think it's for the title, but we'll see. And then, we had another segment, CM Punk, MJF, which, I mean, MJF was able to, I guess, get the upper hand of course, with the help of Shawn Spears and Wardlow. Which, I mean, we now know he made it plain and clear. Okay, now we're going to get CM Punk versus MJF next week in Chicago. Next week's Dynamite's in Chicago. I'm still kind of iffy as to, is this match really going to happen or not? Is it actually really going to happen or not? I'm still kind of iffy on that. But they took out CM Punk. MJF had the last laugh, sat on him. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I don't think it's going to fully go down, but I hope it does. I hope it does. I mean, I would have thought CM Punk MJF would take place at like Revolution or, at a pay-per-view. But something tells me that this match is going to be a no contest or a draw or something, and they're going to settle it at Revolution. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. But we'll see. But something tells me it's going to have like some sort of shenanigans. Okay, it was announced that Jon Moxley and Anthony Bowens are going to take on each other at Rampage. And also, Julia Hart is going to get a TBS championship title opportunity against the current champion, Jade Cargill, on Rampage. The next match that they had legit Layla Hirsch versus Red Velvet. So the legit one versus Miss Stir It Up, Stir It Up, Stir It Up, Stir It Up. And this was actually a really good match. This was a good match between both these ladies. It was back and forth. And, of course, legit Layla Hirsch got the roll-up pin with a handful of tights finish. And was going to do a post-match attack. But Chris Statlander came down for the save, because, her and Red Velvet are tight. They're friends. But, like I said, legit Layla Hirsch is a heel now. She's definitely a heel. But I definitely enjoyed the match. Just didn't like the finish. The finish was kind of lame. But I still enjoyed the match. I thought it was still a good match. You had a segment with Sammy Guevara and the flashcards, which, that was pretty neat. That's sort of been his thing for the picture-in-picture breaks, where they may have him come out and hold up the big poster flashcards and such. We had a segment with AEW Women's World Champion Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, pretty much coming out. They had a whole bunch of her accomplishments, plaques, trophies, stuff that she's won from, I think it was Pro Wrestling Magazine, or I forgot what magazine it was. But, yeah, pretty much she came out. Tony Schiavone was there, gave her the mic. She pretty much bragged about her achievements and accomplishments and, discussed about, this being her era and just the future for DMD. And she was rocking her signature Pittsburgh jacket that has, it's all bedazzled and everything. It's a really cool looking jacket. I'll say that. It's really cool looking. But yeah, had that. Had the fancy patches, Pittsburgh Penguins, Pittsburgh Steelers, Pittsburgh Pirates, whatever Pittsburgh teams you can name. But anyway, she bragged about her accomplishments and anywhere and so forth and so on. I'm surprised nobody didn't come out. Nobody didn't come out to mess up anything or anything like that. Nobody came out. So she had that whole time to herself. But like I said, I think it's only a matter of time before Thunder Rosa will be the one to dethrone Britt Baker. It's only a matter of time. But, let her have her moment for now. It's cool. Okay, you had a segment where pretty much Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero came out, and Nyla Rose wants Ruby Soho. She felt like her victory over her in the TBS tournament was a fluke. So Nyla Rose wants Ruby Soho, and she's going to get Ruby Soho next Wednesday on Dynamite. So that's a matchup that's to look forward to. Ruby Soho and Nyla Rose. And then the main event of Beach Break, Dynamite Beach Break, was the unsanctioned lights out match between Orange Cassidy and Adam Cole, baby. And I have to say, this was a great match, but it does not top Thunder Rosa and Dr. Britt Baker's lights out unsanctioned match. It doesn't top that match, but this was still a good match. I will say that. There are a lot of good spots. There was a loaded thumbtack jockstrap cup that Orange Cassidy had to protect himself from taking the full blow of the low blow that Adam Cole gave him. I mean, it was like a studded, thumbtack studded, steel studded cup that Orange Cassidy had. That was innovative. That was very innovative, but it makes sense. Adam Cole has done a lot of low blows lately, so it kind of makes sense. But this was definitely a great back and forth match, and I have to say, the big main spot, which of course you had Best Friends come out, you had the Young Bucks, you had Bobby Fish try to interfere. It was mainly Best Friends was mainly Wheeler Yuta, Chucky T, and Rocky Romero. So it was good to see Rocky Romero's back. But they kind of evened the odds. And then they had the segment where pretty much they were on top of it was like they were on top of the stage, like higher up, and pretty much Orange Cassidy gave Adam Cole a hug, like the Best Friends hug, and then took him and just pulled him off the stage and just crashed down below. And it looked like, I don't know if Orange Cassidy took like the worst of that fall, but it looked pretty bad with their positioning after the fall. But thankfully they were okay. But there was that final spot. Orange Cassidy on top. Bryce Remsburg with the count. 1, 2, 3. And Orange Cassidy defeats Adam Cole. Now, of course, remember, this doesn't go on the record books because it's an unsanctioned lights out match. So this does not count against Adam Cole's record. Same thing with Britt Baker with her loss to Thunder Rosa. That doesn't count because it was an unsanctioned lights out match. So Adam Cole's still undefeated in his AEW career. But something tells me, I'm pretty sure it's not over between Adam Cole and Orange Cassidy. It might be for now. They might resume later, but something tells me it's not over between these two. Not like that. Not like that. But I could be wrong. So it is what it is, but I could be wrong. So that was Dynamite Beach Break. And then you pretty much had Rampage. So we had Jon Moxley taking on Anthony Bowens of the Acclaimed. And I have to say, this was a great match, especially for Anthony Bowens. He put up a great fight against Jon Moxley. That was a good long match, too. That was back and forth. Yeah, Moxley had the momentum for like the first part of the match, but then Anthony Bowens, he was getting in some good shots in there, a handful of near falls. Like, I'd have to say this is probably one of, if not Anthony Bowen's best match. And it was against Jon Moxley. That's a big deal. That is a big deal. But, even though Mox got the victory after a paradigm shift, that's a match that definitely Anthony Bowens can be proud of. That's a match he can be proud of. Because that was, oh man, he brought his A game for that singles match, for sure. So I got to give Anthony Bowens kudos for that match tonight. That was a great match. He put on a great effort against Jon Moxley. Big thumbs up there. Let's see. You also had Jade Cargill defend the TBS championship against Julia Hart. Wasn't a long match. It really wasn't a long match. And Jade put away Julia Hart fairly quick. When you think about it, it was fairly quick. 1, 2, 3. Hits a Jaded. 1, 2, 3. And now Jade Cargill is 26-0. Still undefeated. Something tells me some sort of big name or some sort of name that busts through the forbidden door might end up being who may dethrone Jade Cargill. But right now, there's no telling. There's really no telling who's going to be the one to dethrone Jade Cargill. I have no idea. At first, I was thinking maybe Chris Statlander, but I know I was talking to my dad. He was thinking Ruby Soho. I don't see it, but it could happen. It could happen. I mean, they were in the finals of the TBS championship tournament, so it maybe, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say. We had Lee Johnson and Brock Anderson team up to go to compete against FTR. And this was actually a decent match as well. This had a decent amount of time. These two teams going at it. But, of course, Tully Blanchard got knocked out by his Four Horsemen stablemate, Arn Anderson. But ultimately, Lee Johnson got hit with a spike pile driver, double team, and FTR gets the 1, 2, 3. But it was actually a good tag team match. Had a good amount of time, and Brock and Lee looked good. Brock and Lee actually looked good. But, FTR wasn't losing that match. I mean, let's just keep it real. And then the main event was for the AEW World Tag Team Championships as Jurassic Express defended the titles against Private Party. And Private Party got off to an instant big start and even got to the point where they hit an early gin and juice on Jungle Boy, but still kicked out. But you got to give them credit for going after that early and trying to get the jump on Jurassic Express. But despite all their efforts, their mad efforts, it still was not enough to dethrone the tag champs. And Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy were able to withstand the onslaught and were able to pick up the victory, defeating Private Party for another successful AEW World Tag Team title defense. But it was a good main event. It was definitely a good main event. And, what's really kind of weird? So this was AEW Rampage on TNT, because we got to remember, Dynamite is now on TBS. And Jade Cargill defended the TBS title on Rampage. Anybody else find that kind of weird? Feels like lately she's been defending that title on Rampage, even though it's called the TBS title Like, I just think it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. But to each their own. I just think it's kind of weird. I also wanted to say that I just recently found out, which she posted a picture on her Twitter and I think also her Instagram, but Riho is actually out with an injury. The picture had her arm in a sling, and it makes me wonder, did she get that injury from her match with her title match from Battle of the Belts with Dr. Britt Baker? Or was this like more recent? Because I know it's been a while since we last saw her. But yeah, so Riho will be out for a while. She has that arm injury. Her arm was in a sling. So that's a bummer. That's a bummer. And I love Riho. Riho's awesome. But, looks like she's going to be out of action for a while. Hopefully she can get a speedy full recovery and come back ASAP. We shall see. But that is it for AEW. This was the go home week for WWE, as tomorrow is Royal Rumble. And honestly, there really wasn't anything entertaining that happened on Raw. I mean, the matches were good. The matches were good, but that's it. That was really it. I mean, you had great matches on Raw. I will say that. There were some good matches. But that was pretty much it. That was pretty much it. I mean, I guess the weigh-in segment with Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley, I guess that was kind of funny. Not really, but the segment with Edge and Beth Phoenix crashing the Maurice birthday celebration and seeing Beth Phoenix and Edge work together, that was pretty cool. That was definitely pretty cool. But yeah, the matches were good. Street Profits, the Mysterios, that was good. Austin Theory and AJ Styles, that was really good. Randy Orton and Chad Gable, that was good. And Damian Priest and Kevin Owens, that was actually pretty dang on good. But that was pretty much it. Just, those matches, good matches, but that's it. That's it. And then NXT 2.0. So we know that pretty much Boa and Solo Sikoa had their street fight, their Falls Count Anywhere match, where Solo Sikoa got the victory. Still undefeated, by the way. Still undefeated. We had some more Dusty Tag Cup matches. We had a great match between Jacket Time and MSK, which, of course, MSK got the victory. Duke Hudson had a quick victory. He returned to action. We had Indy Hartwell and Persia Piranha teaming up with Kaylee Ray to take on Toxic Attraction. And sure enough, of course, Kaylee Ray ended up chasing off Mandy Rose with the bat, the baseball bat. So it looks like they're leading up. They're going to be leading up to, I guess, Kaylee Ray being next in line to get a crack at Mandy Rose for the NXT Women's Championship. So that's what that's looking like. And then Grizzled Young Veterans advanced in the Dusty Tag Classic as they defeated Andre Chase and Bonnie Hayward, which we got to remember, there have been two occasions, if I remember correctly, where Grizzled Young Veterans made it to the finals and lost. So we'll have to see how it goes this time around to see if they could actually win it. Io Shirai went up against Tiffany Stratton, but ended up getting the victory over Tiffany Stratton, which honestly, like I said, I still really don't know why Io is still there. I don't think there's really anything left for her to do. But there's more to that. I'll get to that a little bit later. We had a number one contender match for the North American Championship as we had Tony D'Angelo taking on Cameron Grimes. This was a pretty decent match. This was the main event. Pretty decent match. Pete Dunne showed up to even the odds to pretty much interfere. Well, okay, not really even the odds, but to interfere. And sure enough, Cameron Grimes was able to take advantage, gets the cave in. The 1, 2, 3. Cameron Grimes is your number one contender to the NXT North American Championship, currently held by Carmelo Hayes. It was also announced NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day. Or actually, I think it's just called Vengeance Day. NXT Vengeance Day. So it'll be a special Tuesday NXT. It'll be on February 15th, so one day after Valentine's Day. And word is that is where Carmelo Hayes will defend the North American Championship against Cameron Grimes. So that's when Cameron Grimes will get his title shot. Should be good. Should be really good. Because Carmelo Hayes, he's great in the ring. He's definitely great in the ring. So I would love to see how that match goes between Cameron and Carmelo. CNC. I love it. I love it. But looking at the Dusty Tag Classic. So we have our semifinal matchup. It'll be MSK versus the team of Malik Blade and Idris Enofe. And then you have the other semifinal matchup, the Creed brothers versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. To be honest, I am not sure. Like, I don't really see, well, I definitely see MSK advancing to the finals because I don't see them losing to Idris and Malik Blade. I don't see that happening. Creed brothers and Grizzled Young Veterans, that could actually go either way. That could go either way. Yeah, that could go either way. So we'll see what happens. And then remember, the women's Dusty Tag Classic tournament is supposed to start in February. So that's coming up. We'll have to see what official tag teams we have there. Cora Jade was still trying to recruit Raquel Gonzalez, but she keeps declining. I'm sure we're going to get Indy Hartwell and Persia Piranha as one of the teams. Casey Catanzaro, Caden Carter. But yeah, we'll have to see. We have to see what teams look like, as that's right around the corner. And then SmackDown, NXT UK. This was a good episode. This was definitely a good episode. Had Jenny and Amel have their showdown. It was pretty good. But of course, roll up victory with Jenny grabbing a handful of tights. Or actually, no. Had her feet on the ropes. And I hope at some point Jenny does get an NXT UK Women's Championship title run. I would have thought maybe she would have had one by now, but hopefully she'll get it. But I think right now Blair Davenport is in line. which it has also been announced that Blair Davenport will get another shot at Meiko Satomura for the NXT UK Women's Championship, but it will be in the form of a Japanese street fight. So that's going to be interesting, how that goes, a Japanese street fight. And who knows, maybe that's how Blair Davenport dethrones the final boss and Meiko Satomura. We'll see. But we had De Familia defeat Gallus. That was quite a nice little match there, which they're going to be feuding for a while. I would imagine that they're going to be feuding for a while. So I don't see it being over between those two stables. And then we had the main event, which this was a killer main event. We had an empty arena match for the NXT United Kingdom Championship as Ilya Dragunov defended the title against the Irish Ace, Jordan Devlin. Yeah, this was a very intense match, back and forth. These two were tearing each other apart. It was crazy because remember, it's an empty arena match. Like anything goes. You got the whole arena as your battlefield. And I tell you, they did not disappoint. They did not disappoint. So it was back and forth. I mean, they even had Ilya Dragunov. He had twist ties tied behind his back, holding his arms, his hands behind his back. It was crazy. Like, it was just back and forth and just, yeah, it was a pretty sick match. But sure enough, even with his hands and arms tied up, was able to hit Jordan Devlin, jumping off the steel steps of the ring, nailing him with a torpedo Moscow, and laying right on top of him for the cover. 1, 2, 3. And Ilya Dragunov is still your NXT United Kingdom champion. Ilya Dragunov does it again. Still strong. And you know what? I don't think he's losing that title anytime soon. But you got to give Jordan Devlin a lot of credit. He brought his A game. This match was intense. It was excellent. What a main event. I do hope, though, at some point we start to see NXT UK takeovers return. Because it's been a while. It's been a while since we've seen an NXT UK takeover. So I hope that will be in the cards very, very soon. Very soon. Because, I mean, they've already opened their shows back up to fans. So hopefully they'll eventually be able to do a takeover. And then we had Friday Night SmackDown, which I have to be honest, between the go-home shows of Raw and SmackDown, SmackDown was definitely the better show. We had a big return. We had the return of Sasha Banks. And she was looking excellent. But yeah, we had ladies like Charlotte kicked off the show. We had her. We had Shayna Baszler come down. We had Aaliyah come down. Natalya come down. Shotzi Blackheart come down. And then Sasha Banks shows up. Now, of course, all these ladies brawled, but at the end of the segment, Sasha was standing in the ring. It's the last woman standing, grooving, dancing, celebrating. But Sasha Banks, she returned at SmackDown and declared herself for the Royal Rumble. So we know that Sasha Banks is going to be in the Royal Rumble. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. So welcome back, Sasha Banks. You know, the times, the stakes have definitely, or as actually, as good old JR likes to say, business has picked up. So I tell you, it's good to see her back. They had Sheamus and Ridge Holland versus Ricochet and Cesaro. I really hate the fact that still, once again, Cesaro and Ricochet are on the losing end. It was a good match, but dang, like, why do they keep kind of putting them on the losing end? It's ridiculous how dirty these two superstars get done. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You had a really good match between Naomi and Sonya Deville. Naomi finally got her match and finally got her revenge for all those days of torture and sassiness. And she picked up a victory over Sonya Deville. Hit her with a rear view, hit her with a split-legged moonsault. I have to give Sonya Deville credit on hitting Naomi with a Shoten Kai, a.k.a. the Elevator. I thought that was pretty cool. But, of course, after the match, Sonya Deville declared that she is going to be in the Royal Rumble. We already know Naomi was in there. But now Sonya Deville has inserted herself into the Royal Rumble. We had Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs versus Shanky and Jinder Mahal. The whole podcast thing that Sami Zayn was doing pretty much went into shambles after Rick Boogs and Shinsuke Nakamura showed up. Had a tag team match, and we got to see an amazing feat of strength from Rick Boogs as he was able to lift up and drop Shanky for the victory, which apparently his finisher is called the Boogs Cruise, which I didn't even know that, but it's called the Boogs Cruise. That's a weird name. But yeah, he hit Shanky with that. It got the 1, 2, 3. Rick Boogs and Shinsuke Nakamura are your winners, but it's like, dang, when is Sami Zayn going to get his Intercontinental Championship title shot? He's the number one contender, and he has yet to get that title shot. So I don't know what's up with that, but he has yet to get his title shot. So there's no telling when he's going to get his title shot. We also had the New Day in the form of Kofi Kingston and Big E take on Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss. And, of course, Xavier Woods is still out with injury. Not sure when he'll be able to come back, but hopefully soon. But Kofi and Big E stood tall, cohesive unit as usual, and they were able to hit Madcap Moss with a midnight hour to get a victory for the New Day. And it was a good match. It was actually a good match. That's one thing I will say. This was a good episode of SmackDown. I'll give them that. And then we had the final segment of the night. Seth freaking Rollins and Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief. They had a moment in the ring, and Seth Rollins pretty much taunted Roman Reigns. And it looks like he wasn't letting it get to him until Seth Rollins mentioned about the big ultimate betrayal of the Shield, where he took the steel chair to the back of Roman Reigns and also took out Mox as well, which that triggered Roman Reigns. And he admitted that he never forgave Seth Rollins for that and that he hates him. Tried to go for a Superman punch, but he avoided it. And was able to escape. But who knows? It looks like Seth Rollins got all up in Roman Reigns' head rip free with that. was quite an interesting note to end SmackDown on, for sure. Okay. And to finish off, let's go over this card. Let's go over this card for Royal Rumble. Like I said, this is also Saturday. Saturday night, January 29th. And this will be at the Dome at America Center in St. Louis. So St. Louis, Missouri for Royal Rumble this year. So let's look at the matches. So for the women's Royal Rumble, let's do a recap. This is who we have confirmed so far for the women's Royal Rumble. All right, let's go over. Kelly, Mickie James, Lita, Tamina, Sonya Deville, Queen Zelina, Carmella, Shayna Baszler, Aaliyah, Michelle McCool, the Bella Twins, so that's 12, Summer Rae, Nikki ASH, Naomi, Dana Brooke, Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Sasha Banks, so that's 20 so far, Rhea Ripley, Naomi, Shotzi Blackheart. So that's 23 ladies confirmed. That's 23 ladies confirmed for Royal Rumble. So there's still 7 more. Still 7 more that we have yet to be revealed. And like I said, my prediction, I'll say this. I'm going to say 3 possible ladies that I think could end up winning this Royal Rumble. There's 3 that come to mind. 1, Bayley. If Bayley is in this Royal Rumble, if she's cleared to compete and she's in this Royal Rumble, I could definitely see Bayley winning it. Or Sasha Banks. I could definitely see Sasha Banks winning the Royal Rumble. As crazy as that might sound, I could see Sasha Banks actually winning it. Or 3, Alexa Bliss. I could see Alexa Bliss winning the Royal Rumble. Those are my top 3 picks on who I think would win the Women's Royal Rumble. I will say this. You know what a nice little incentive should be? Whoever tosses over and eliminates Charlotte Flair, being that she's the SmackDown Women's Champion and she's not defending her title at this pay-per-view, I think whoever tosses over and eliminates Charlotte Flair should get a title shot for her title, for her SmackDown Women's title. I think that would be cool. I think whoever tosses her over should get a crack at the SmackDown Women's Championship. But those are the 3 that I'm picking. Either Bayley, Sasha Banks, or Alexa Bliss. Those are my top 3. Like I said, we'll see what happens. And there's a lot of names that have been thrown in there that I've heard rumored. Asuka, which apparently Asuka is supposed to be cleared to compete or return at Royal Rumble. I've even heard word of Paige being in this Royal Rumble as a surprise, which word is that she's cleared. So I really feel like, and I've even heard Kairi Sane. as a possible. Like there's been discussion of maybe even Kairi Sane. Who knows? We could get Dakota Kai. She wrestled Io Shirai in a dark match before SmackDown earlier tonight. We could see Io Shirai. We could see Dakota Kai in this Royal Rumble. I expect Xia Li will be in there, where she has yet to even have a match on the main roster. But yeah, there's been all sorts of names thrown into the picture that have been rumored that could be the other 7. But we shall see. We shall see. But I've already picked my 3 winners. I think it's either going to be Bayley, Sasha Banks, or Alexa Bliss. Okay. For the men's Royal Rumble match, I'm going in no particular order. For the men's Royal Rumble match. So this is who we have confirmed so far for the men. All right, check it out. Ricochet, Johnny Knoxville, Sami Zayn, the Mysterios, Austin Theory, Alpha Academy, the Street Profits, so that's 10, Kofi Kingston, Madcap Moss, Happy Corbin, Shinsuke Nakamura, Rick Boogs, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, Omos, the Dirty Dogs. All right, that's 20. RK Bro, Big E, Damian Priest, Sheamus. So that's 25 people, 25 men so far confirmed for this Royal Rumble, which leaves 5 surprises. Who could I see winning the Royal Rumble for the men? That's tough. That is really tough. That is really tough. I have no idea who the surprises could be. But one that I heard mentioned that could be a surprise entrant is Tommaso Ciampa. I heard he could be a surprise entrant. I heard that maybe even LA Knight might be a surprise entrant. The only person that I could really think of, and a lot of people have been saying this name, that could potentially win the Royal Rumble, Kevin Owens, which honestly, I'd be okay with it. If it was Kevin Owens, I'd be okay with it. But other than that, I really have no idea. I mean, another part of me would love to see AJ Styles win the Royal Rumble. I would love to see that, personally. I would love to see AJ Styles win the Royal Rumble. I doubt it, but would be nice. Would be really nice. There are also some folks that were thinking maybe Big E, but I don't know. I don't know. Would be nice to kind of make things right, but I'm going to pick either Kevin Owens or AJ Styles. I would like one of those two to win. I think Kevin Owens has a greater chance, but AJ Styles I would mark out for if he won the Royal Rumble. So I'm going to say AJ Styles or Kevin Owens. But like I said, I have no idea who those other 5 mystery surprise entrants could be. But we'll have to wait and see. Should be good. Hopefully it'll be good. I don't think that they really did a good job of leaving the room open for like speculation, which I mean, there's still 7 that we don't know officially for the women and 5 for the men, but there have been a lot of talks and a lot of stuff kind of coming out there in the air. So I like just being surprised, really, me personally. Anyway, we have the Raw Women's Championship on the line as Becky Lynch, the champion, big time Bex, the man, will take on Doudrop, the doo-doo drop. Yeah, Becky Lynch retains. I can appreciate Doudrop getting a push, but I don't see her beating Becky Lynch. I think Becky Lynch will keep the title at least till WrestleMania. So I hope these two ladies have a good match, but I see Becky Lynch definitely retaining. And she's probably going to do some sort of roll up or leverage pin using the ropes or grabbing the tights or something to get the victory. Or maybe she exposes a turnbuckle and Doudrop hits it and then she rolls her up. Something like that. Some sort of wonky finish. But I expect Becky Lynch will retain the title and defeat Doudrop. We have the mixed tag match. Edge and Beth Phoenix versus The Miz and Maurice. And to be honest with you, I really have no interest in watching this match. I really have no interest in watching this match. I do not like Maurice. I never have liked Maurice, and I never will like Maurice. I want Edge and Beth Phoenix to win, but something tells me because Edge and Beth Phoenix last had the momentum at the end of Raw, something tells me that the Miz and Maurice are going to end up winning, and that will royally, royally suck. That will royally suck. I'm okay with the Miz. I'm not okay with Maurice. I don't even like the idea of her returning into the ring and wrestling because I believe, honestly, as a wrestler, I think Maurice is trash in the ring. So like I said, it's so bad. I don't even want to watch Maurice wrestle or this match. Like, that's how much I don't like it. So I'll be watching this with my dad, and I might have to just turn away from the TV, and my dad is going to have to tell me what happens. Like, yeah. But I hope Edge and Beth Phoenix win. Other than that, the fact that Maurice is in this match, I could care less on watching it. So we have the Universal Championship on the line as the Universal Champion Roman Reigns will defend the title against Seth Rollins, and the Usos are banned from ringside. So no Usos allowed. This should be a great match. I expect it to be hard-hitting, really tell a good story, but I do expect Roman Reigns to retain. I expect him to retain the championship and defeat Seth Rollins. Because like I said, that's another one where I don't expect Roman Reigns to lose the title until WrestleMania. I think WrestleMania is when Roman finally loses the title. And then we have the WWE Championship on the line as Brock Lesnar will defend against Bobby Lashley. Now, this is a match a lot of people have been waiting for. A whole lot of people have been waiting for. I think Brock will retain, though, because I think what's going to end up happening What I think is going to end up happening is, I think because WrestleMania is going to be two nights, I think they're still trying to push for a title versus title winner takes all match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. And what I think will happen, both Brock and Roman will retain, and then at WrestleMania night one, they duke it out, both titles on the line, winner takes all, and then in night 2, the winner of the men's Royal Rumble gets his title shot against the winner from night 1. That's what I think could potentially happen. So, like I said, this is another pay-per-view. I don't expect any title changes. But there's only 6 matches. And like I said, the Royal Rumble matches are going to draw out the most time. And I think they're probably going to have it where, they may have the women's Royal Rumble match first, and then maybe the men's Royal Rumble match last. That's what I'm thinking may happen. But we'll see. Like I said, I'm very much interested in, what kind of surprises we may get in these Royal Rumble matches. But yeah, the winners get title shots at WrestleMania. And we also, it's also been announced that this year's Elimination Chamber will actually take place February 19th from Jeddah. So that will be is that in Saudi Arabia? Yeah, I think that's in Saudi Arabia. But yeah, that's where Jeddah is where this year's Elimination Chamber will take place. That's February 19th. So wow, so they got NXT Vengeance Day on February 15th, and then Elimination Chamber on February 19th. So it's quite a bit coming up in the month of February for WWE. But hey, I can dig it. I can definitely dig it. But yeah, so Elimination Chamber and Vengeance Day, NXT Vengeance Day next month. But yeah, Royal Rumble, just 6 matches, but that's your card for Royal Rumble 2022. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, it's another thing I wanted to talk about. That's right. So a deal has been made. So apparently WWE recently signed a major multi-year deal with Disney. That's right. So to elaborate, and I can also post the article as well in the description box. I'll post the article. But yeah, just looking at this, so they've agreed to that the WWE Network will be available on Disney Plus Hotstar streaming service, which is based in Indonesia. So Disney Plus, Disney has a couple of branches. They have Disney Plus, they got Star Plus, they got Hulu, got ESPN Plus. So in a couple of different areas around the world, they'll have a type of branch of streaming service under Disney Plus. In Indonesia, you got Hotstar, and like Latin American countries, you got Star Plus. And other countries, I think India has like Movie Star, and just all around the world they got different versions, but under the Disney streaming umbrella. So in this case, Hotstar, Disney Plus Hotstar, which is broadcast for Indonesia, so streaming service in Indonesia. So it's very interesting that this is happening, because it makes me wonder about two things. One, how they even came to this deal in the first place, because if I remember correctly, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't pro wrestling banned in Indonesia, if I remember correctly? Because I think it was said that there was some sort of incident that happened between like two teens or kids or something like that, where one gave the other a tombstone pile driver and ended up killing him. And from that point on, they just banned pro wrestling, like events, broadcasting, all that. And that's what kind of prompted the do not try this at home sort of campaign. And, they brand that on the openings and stuff like that. So I'm kind of surprised that, they're allowing this, and that they're, agreeing to this deal for WWE Network to be broadcasted stream as part of the Disney Plus Hotstar service. So that's crazy. And then secondly, how much of a foot in the door does this give Disney? Because you have to think, for a multi-year deal like this to happen between WWE and Disney, who's to say that this is only part of a bigger deal? The Disney's foot in the door, because the word is that there's a lot of stuff being done and made to prep for WWE to be sold. And who knows, maybe Disney could be in line to buy WWE. There's also rumor that The Rock may consider buying the WWE. I think maybe him and Nick Khan partnering up and buying and running the WWE. That's another rumor. So we'll have to see what happens. But I think, give it another year or two or three, I think we're eventually going to see WWE up for sale. I think it's only a matter of time. Already, Fox and USA Network have voiced disappointment with WWE as far as ratings, as far as usage of talent, and just a lot of other things. I think it's only a matter of time. Whether it's year or years from now, I think we're going to end up seeing WWE eventually up for sale. And Disney could be a potential buyer. I hope that doesn't happen, but we'll see. I'd be more inclined for like The Rock to buy WWE. He'd probably do a much better job with it, but we'll see what happens. But that'll be it for this pro wrestling talk. Like I said, we got Royal Rumble tomorrow. We got Stardom's Nagoya Supreme Fight tomorrow. It's a lot of pro wrestling to look forward to. I'm excited. I hope y'all are too. But let me know what y'all's thoughts are. What do y'all think about the pay-per-views? What do you think about the cards for Nagoya Supreme Fight and Royal Rumble? What are your predictions? Who do you believe will win? And who do you think the special surprise entrance will be for the men and women's Royal Rumble matches? But yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can catch every video that I upload. And thank y'all so much for watching. This has been another Pro Wrestling Talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. I hope everybody has a blessed weekend. Stay safe, and I will see y'all in the next videos. I plan on doing a recap video of Royal Rumble and Nagoya Supreme fight. Probably be 2 separate videos, so just keep an eye out for those. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed weekend. Peace.